Hi, this is SLKJDFV from the Unity community, and this is my first tutorial video on how to use my advanced inventory system. In this, I'll just be covering a couple things in depth, so it's easier for you guys to get started and import this into your projects. Alright, let's get started. Just create a new, I don't want to see a file, new project. And we're just going to call this inventory. Just going to create, let Unity load. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go under we're just going to import, let's just import the standard edition for right now. So that's pretty much what most of you already have. And we're just going to import everything. Select all, import. And now right here, FPS input controller, character motor. So what we're going to want to do is you're going to need to import the character controller. And for right now, we just want the first person, so we don't need that. We should need the prototype character. Now you don't need character motor, platform input controller, third person controller, or this. And you don't even need mouse look, because those are the mouse look and FPS input controller are the two scripts I changed. So actually, no, we do need character motor, sorry. Do that, hit import. Now, one key thing that you do not want to do is under is where these scripts are. Don't move them, otherwise you will get reference errors. So just leave them where they are. I've already had a few people ask me about that. Just leave them where they are. And it's important. There's no errors, no nothing. So what we're going to do, we're just going to go and create an empty game object. And we're going to call this system object. And we're going to go and we're going to give it this. And we're just going to drag it upwards. And we're going to delete this camera. And this is the main thing we need. So right now, he's untagged. We need to give it the tag. So we need to add a tag. We're going to call this tag underscore capital S Y S T E M capital C O N T R O L L E R system controller. Just going to enter. We're going to go back under our system object. I think I spelled that wrong. Yes, I did. And we're going to give it the tag system controller. What this does is when you are using the system, it's going to be looking for an object with this tag in the game. And we just gave it that. So now we're ready to start setting this up. So we're going to go and add a system controller to this. We're going to go and add a inventory system to this. So now that those are all set up, we need a mouse to start with. So we're going to go under textures. We're just going to drag our main cursor here. And we're going to give it a cursor Y and X size of 32. This is the overall size of the cursor. So it determines how big the cursor is. And this is the image of the cursor. This forces the mouse to be displayed at all times. These X and Y are the horizontal and the vertical length of your inventory. So we're going to set this to 6 and 4. 5, 4. Title alignment is, let me move this out of the way. This is a good example. This title bar, it'll either, if you have it set to the left, it'll place it to the left. Middle sets it in the middle, or to the right sets it to the right. I need this up here so I can keep track of time. Alright, now, this is the overall offset. So we're going to want the X offset, since it's on the left, a little bit to the right. And right now we don't have any items because our player's not going to pick anything up. Okay. Now what I want to go over are these settings. This is the initial offset of the box of which your inventory is displayed from. So we're just gonna, before I show you that, I'm gonna keep going. Icon offset is the initial offset of the icons, the little squares in your inventory, window padding, and everything else. So, well, so what it does, it's gonna take this into account plus these. Basically, if you have a large GUI, this is what's going to help you set it up correctly, is these two. So if you have any alignment issues, start with these, and then move on to this, because this is what icon offset is what spaces the icons apart. I will display that in a second. Icon spacing is the spacing between the icons. So icon width height is the overall size of the icons. We're going to start off with an icon width height of 32. And that's it. This is where you assign the main skin is where you assign the actual skin. Draggable windows is if you want your windows to be draggable. Currency is the overall currency that your game will use. So you can set it to whatever you want. I'm going to leave it as a money sign. This is what allows your icons in your game to be draggable or not. Lock cam when inventory is opened. Unlock movement when inventory is open. This is important because what this is going to do is when you open your inventory, if you have like a first-person shooter or a third-person shooter, or RPG or whatever, this will actually lock the camera and your movement so you can't move or look around. You can just disable that if you want. We're just going to lock it for now. Input settings. When you go to pick up an item, this allows you to either use your mouse button or the action key, which is default set to none. So this is your action key. We're actually going to set this to E. So we're going to drag this down to E. Open inventory is the key that's required to open the inventory. We're going to set to I. And open equipment, we're going to set to K because it's just below I. So for convenience reasons. Now, by default, allow inventory display is set to off. You want to enable that. This basically allows your inventory to be displayed or used, basically. Force window display forces it to be displayed all the time. Inventory key style, which is how you open your inventory, whether you want it to be opened by pushing a button on the screen or by using a keyboard key. So we're going to leave it at keyboard key. This locks the inventory to a specific position on the screen, whether you want to set it yourself or select where you want it to be. And this is the offset. Stats window is the item stats when you have your inventory open. We're going to set that to window inside inventory, and we're going to give it a height of 48. We don't want an initial money, and we're not going to allow the equipment display yet. And we're running below, a little low on time, so we're just going to start this off and see how it runs. And right now there's no screen or anything. There's our mouse. Now you see how this is all the way up here at this window? If we actually go back into this and adjust the initial offset to, like, say 8, the horizontal offset to 8, and the vertical offset to 21, then hit play and hit I, you'll see that this box that the inventory is displayed in is pushed more inside the inventory. Now you can actually see what that does. Window padding is completely different. This takes that into account and pushes it even more in, horizontally and vertically. Icon offset, as I said earlier, pushes the icons inward. And then spacing, it's a space between all your icons. But we're running out of time, so I will continue explaining this in the next video. Goodbye.